Vulnerable workers in Canada. Know your rights and options. Hey there. Welcome back to the Canada Immigration Matters YouTube channel, presented by Chugo Immigration Services. Today, we're diving into a crucial topic that could really change the game for many people. Open work permits for vulnerable workers in Canada. If you're watching this video, chances are you or someone you know might be in a tough situation with their work permit. Maybe you're being mistreated or exploited at work and don't know where to turn. Well, this video is for you. Make sure you watch till the end so you don't miss out on all the information that you really need. This is something we hear a lot, and many of you have been asking us questions and seeking assistance on how to get out of their bad situation. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how to apply for an open work permit and what the eligibility criteria are. You'll also get insights into real-life situations where vulnerable workers can get the help they need to stay safe and continue working in Canada. So, stay with me until the end, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more essential immigration tips. Let's get started. What is an open work permit for vulnerable workers? First things first. What exactly is an open work permit? Well, it's a special kind of work permit that lets you work for any employer in Canada. Unlike a regular work permit, which is tied to a specific employer, an open work permit gives you more flexibility to change employers without needing to apply for a new permit. But the open work permit for vulnerable workers is different. This program is specifically for workers who are at risk of or have already experienced abuse in the workplace. So, if you're facing physical, sexual, financial, or psychological abuse, this could be your pathway to finding safety while still being able to earn a living. Who qualifies for an open work permit for vulnerable workers? Now, let's talk about eligibility. Who qualifies for this kind of permit? There are a few key things you'll need to meet to be considered. Employer-specific work permit. You must currently have an employer-specific work permit, also called a closed work permit, or have applied for a renewal. Abuse or risk of abuse. You need to show IRCC that you're either experiencing abuse at work or at risk of abuse. This could include a lot of situations like the following. Physical harm. This could be like assault or any act causing injury. It doesn't have to be dangerous before you report it. Sexual abuse, such as unwanted sexual advances or exploitation. This happens frequently, and it's essential to know how to protect yourself. Psychological abuse, intimidation, threats, or emotional manipulation. Financial abuse, like not getting paid or not being paid on time or being controlled financially by the employer or their agents. Control and isolation. That's like being isolated from your support systems or not allowed to leave work and things like that. These are just the basic examples. There are many more. You need to reach out to the authorities and let them know your unique situation. Reporting the abuse. Now, if you're being abused or know anyone who is in such a situation, you should report it to Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, providing any proof you have. This could include statements from a medical professional, a support organization, or even the police. You can also report the matter to Service Canada, which will investigate to see if the employer is meeting the conditions of the LMIA. Inside Canada. You must be physically in Canada when you apply for this open work permit. Example of a vulnerable worker's experience. Let's take a look at a real-life example to better understand how this works. Meet Anita. Anita came to Canada as a visitor and later obtained an LMIA-based closed work permit to work for an employer in the hospitality industry. Her plan was to work with her employer for at least 12 months, so she could eventually apply for PR under the Canadian Experience class and settle permanently in Canada and bring the rest of her family here. But after starting work, things didn't go as planned. For the past few months, her employer has failed to pay her salary. On top of that, the employer has been threatening to terminate her employment because the staff aren't generating enough income. Now, Anita's stuck in a terrible situation. She's stressed, financially drained, and afraid of losing her job, which could also hurt her chances of applying for permanent residency. For workers like Anita, the open work permit for vulnerable workers could be a lifeline. By applying for an open work permit, Anita could leave her current abusive employer and find a new job, all while maintaining her legal status in Canada. Application process for vulnerable workers. So let's move to the next step. How do you apply for this open work permit? Once you are sure you meet the eligibility criteria, it's not a complicated process, but it does require a few steps. You can do it by yourself, or you can reach out to us for assistance. Let's go through the steps briefly. The first step is to complete the application for changing conditions or extending your stay as a worker. Submit proof of abuse. Next, you'll need to provide evidence that you're facing abuse or at risk of it. This could include medical reports, police reports, letters from support organizations, or any relevant documents showing the situation. It will help a lot if you have some records or a journal detailing your situation. The more information you have to support your claim, the better. Pay the application fee. Just like with most applications, there's a fee to apply for the work permit. Make sure to check the latest fee on the IRCC website. Wait for a decision. Once you've submitted your application, you'll need to wait for a decision. IRCC will assess your application based on the evidence provided. If your application is approved, you will get an open work permit that will allow you to work for any employer or in any city in Canada. Important notes and additional information. Before we wrap up, here are a few important things to remember. IRCC's decision. The IRCC will carefully assess your application to determine whether there are reasonable grounds to believe abuse occurred. Family members. If you're approved, family members you have in Canada, such as spouses or children, might also be eligible for open work permits. External support. If you're not sure how to report abuse, there are several support organizations that can help guide you through the process. In the video description area, I have posted some relevant links that vulnerable workers in Canada can use to get additional information, make complaints, or file an application for an open work permit. These links should give workers in vulnerable situations the necessary resources to report abuse, seek legal help, and apply for an open work permit. Reach out to these resources for support and guidance. So, there you have it. If you're a vulnerable worker who's facing abuse or exploitation, an open work permit might be the solution you need to stay safe and continue earning a living. If you're unsure whether you qualify, don't hesitate to get in touch with Chugo Immigration Services. Our team of regulated Canadian immigration consultants, RCICs, is here to assist you with everything from work permit applications to permanent residency. You don't have to navigate this process alone. We are here to provide professional assistance. Contact Chugo Immigration Services today. You will find our email in the video description area. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe, and see you in the next video.